So I'm about to tell you guys a really big secret. I am pregnant with my ex-husband's baby while I'm in the middle of a divorce from my current husband. But hang tight. The story is so ratchet, you're probably gonna think it's crazy. I'm here today to tell you guys I can't keep living two lives, okay? I just want you guys to know who I am, know what I'm about, and you'll either love me or hate me. Yeah, what else about me? So yeah, when I was 7 years old, I met the love of my life. We literally fell in love. I was 7, he was 10. We got married when I was 19 and he was 21. We had our daughter together, Penelope, she's 12. But here's what I did. I cheated on him with my boss. Yeah, I know, I'm like a person. I got caught and I was pretty belligerent, like, yeah, I'm not gonna apologize. Like, I was like, I don't think you're treating me the best, and you used to break my heart all the time when we were kids, and I deserve this, blah blah blah. Cut to 10 years later, living a miserable life because I ended up marrying our boss, the man that I cheated on him with. We had a child together and we are literally in the middle of a divorce right now. But I'm pregnant with my first husband's baby. Like, well, he's actually not my first husband, but that's another story for another day. And that other one doesn't really count because I was just a ratchet teenager and I ran away from home and like married this guy that I didn't even know. But that's another story for another day. Y'all are probably like, what the hell?
Right, we have this Teletubby here, really popular on TikTok, telling her story about how she cheated on her husband when she was 19 years old with their boss. Both of them worked for the same company. They had a baby at the time and ended up getting a divorce. Then she got with the boss that she cheated with and ended up marrying him. Of course, her husband at the time heartbroken over this, but she wouldn't even apologize because she said he broke her heart as a kid. They met when she was 7 years old. Went to the same church, had a lot in common, homeschooled, and came from big families with 7 or 8 kids each. And honestly, this little Teletubby thought that cheating on her husband at 19 with their boss at work was okay, never really holding herself accountable until she got sick as an adult and the marriage with the boss was going downhill. So she had 1 kid with a childhood sweetheart, 1 kid with the boss, and now she's pregnant again. That baby is from the childhood sweetheart that she cheated on when she was 19 years old and ruined their marriage. They recently got back together. And all I can say is insecurity, confusion all around the situation surrounding her and the childhood sweetheart who took this woman back, and he's looking like he's gonna probably end up remarrying her once the divorce from the boss is over.
Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn.
I know, this is crazy. Shout out to Mr. Williams for sitting this in. Take a second to make sure that you're subscribed to the channel and click the notification bell for all updates. If you're watching from Virginia, drop VA below in the comments. Let's go ahead and jump back into it.
All right, so the rest of the story about how I cheated on my husband. I'm back in the kitchen because, y'all, I'm pregnant and I'm getting hungry, so we're gonna make a snack.
And yeah, she's one of those who will blame everything on being pregnant. Like, ma'am, cut it out. You've been eating like crazy way before you got pregnant.
Okay, so anyway, the boss, 18 years older than me and Anthony were both working for this boss. And the boss basically like started texting me, like he was texting me on my personal phone while I was at work, like, who's making you smile? You know, things like that. It was like stuff like that. And then it just turned into something that it shouldn't have been. You know, if I wasn't supposed to be texting at work, just come over to my desk and tell me to get off the phone. But I was actually good at my job, answering the phone, you know. So I might be on the phone with my little headset on. You couldn't tell me I wasn't Britney Spears. I'm not that innocent. Yeah, but I would be like probably texting Anthony, like smiling or whatever. And he was like, the boss would text and be like, I'm sorry, I'm eating. I'm talking like y'all here in my kitchen. Who's making you smile? Texting me on my personal cell phone. His office was like right there. He could have just been like, Abby, you need to get off the phone and stop texting while you're working, but whatever. Yeah. And then the affair started.
The answer really should have been my husband. Now leave me alone. But no, she just jumped to the affair started. It all started from a text message from her boss, who she said all he had to do was just step out of his office and tell her to get off the phone. I don't know. This lady, she is pretty obnoxious and she's done like 30 videos on this. So she's trying to get more attention by telling her story.
Then Anthony finds out I left my phone home one day on accident. And then I had to go back and get it, and Anthony saw it and was crushed. I know. It was a bad day. A really bad day. Really bad day. Really, really bad day. Anthony obviously quit. Anthony quit. Our daughter was 9 months old when he found out. And it was horrible. I destroyed my whole family. I wasn't thinking about my daughter. I wasn't thinking about Anthony. I was just a selfish 19, 20-year-old at this point. Just doing whatever.
So after she cheated on him and destroyed the whole marriage, she started playing these visitation games.
Let's keep talking about my ratchet life. So I came to sit down because I'm pregnant and I was getting out of breath standing up. I cheated on my second husband with our boss, married him, and 10 years later, I'm in the middle of a divorce and pregnant with my ex-husband's baby. The rest of the story. So I'm basically in this position where I have no money. All of my money is I'm signing over my checks, paid to the order of unnamed boss. He's depositing into his account. The only money that I have is money that I'm getting for child support, which all of that money was going towards daycare. At this point, Anthony is still seeing Penelope. Anthony saw Penelope. I guess we separated around the time she was 9 months. He continued to see her up until she was about 3, maybe a few months older. And we would communicate through this email address. My dog's going crazy back there. I don't even know who's fighting. We communicated through this email address. He would say when he wanted to see her, I would say, okay. And he would see her. And everything was going fine. Then at some point, I just stopped getting emails asking for him to see her. People are like, why didn't you reach out to him or whatever? I felt some type of way because I felt like I shouldn't have to beg him to see his daughter. And I personally felt like I thought he just didn't want to see her anymore because it was just getting to be too difficult for him or whatever. And I didn't want to beg him to be in her life. My thing was always I'm not going to beg someone to love their kid.
But she didn't mind those child support payments coming in. How many of you want to bet if he had stopped paying child support, she would have found a way to call him, right? So she made up the whole story in her head that he did not want to see his child anymore. Meanwhile, he was scheduling visitation with her to see their daughter, driving 4 hours away on multiple occasions, and they never showed up.
You either love her or you don't. Little did I know that he was actually contacting me, actually was under the impression that I was setting up and agreeing to times for him to have custody of Penelope, but I just wasn't showing up. And I did not know this until 10 years later. Literally, I just learned this 6 months ago, that there were times that he has witnesses, his family, that would drive up 4 hours from Virginia to Maryland to pick her up, and we just wouldn't be there. But I didn't even know that I was supposed to be there. I'm thinking that he's not contacting her. So we had a lot of drama in the relationship with me and unnamed boss. We did not get married right away, mostly because I wasn't interested in getting married. And there was it seemed like our relationship was basically at this point fueled by the drama that we were dealing with.
Another part that she left out the story was at some point after she cheated on her ex-husband and their divorce, she ended up moving their daughter 4 hours away. Now she's insinuating, but she won't say it, that the boss intercepted emails and scheduled meetups for her ex-husband to see their child, but she never showed up because she wasn't the one to set it up. It's amazing though how she's never accountable for anything. She blamed the affair on her boss because he was 18 years older. Now she's blaming not allowing her daughter to see her father for 10 years on the boss too. It's is anything her fault? Again, she had no problem collecting child support, but not even once did she reach out to him to give him a report on his daughter or anything. She just moved her hours away and never showed up for visitation. It's just not making any sense, and that's because she was playing games. She said that she thought that he didn't love his daughter, yet the only money that she was able to put her hands on was the money from him, and at no point was her love for their daughter ever questioned. No matter what she did, she was still a perfect mother in her head. Now she's 33 years old. It had to take her getting sick, thinking that she was going to lose her life, her new marriage going down the drain, and she realized that she wasn't 19 years old anymore. She was 30. staring right at the wall. It took all of that for her to go see a therapist. She called him up, he gave her another chance, and all I can say is he should go get evaluated as well, because something just ain't right. I think Anthony could have done better than this woman. They're now buying a house together, expecting a new baby. He's back with his daughter full time, but her son that she had from the boss is still in the picture. You know, he's a constant reminder of what she did. Luckily though, for her son, the boss isn't playing any games with her and he's got joint custody, so she's only able to see him half the time.
Can we say thanks to Bud for abiding? Because if you guys were all nice to me, this would not be as fun. It looks like you can add Bud. You're right. Back when I was 19, I had no morals. Glad you can add. I just said, I cheated on my husband. People would also call me an adulterer, a whoremonger, a slut, a hoe bag. What else? Horrible, ratchet, disgusting. Did I say slut, whore, hoe bag, homewrecker? Did I say all those things? Yeah. So,
The craziest part of all of this is getting mad that people are coming for you and calling you names. For one, this Teletubby didn't even have to tell this silly story. Don't come telling everybody about this silliness and then getting mad when people with logic and sense respond. Of course, most of the fellow TikTok feminists, they're telling her how wonderful she is and how she's holding herself accountable. And I'm sorry, telling everybody about this for attention and more followers being rewarded for it, this is not holding herself accountable. Throughout all of her statements, it's either this nonchalant, playful energy or she's blaming the other parties involved. Like first, the affair was because her childhood sweetheart, she said that he hurt her feelings as a kid. But never mind all of that because she married him. Then she tried to blame it on the boss. Like, man, when was anything ever your fault? She grew up in a Christian home and very sheltered. She blamed that too. Nah, you're just a rebel. You knew right from wrong because your parents taught you at a very young age. You just did whatever you wanted to do. She was a rebel when she ran off and got married the first time as a teenager. And then the second time to the childhood sweetheart. Cheated on him and then married the boss that she cheated with, making him husband number 3. And now pregnant by husband number 2. This is absolutely crazy. Let's go ahead and get the conversation started. Do you think Anthony is crazy for getting back with this woman? Don't forget that you can support this channel as well. Links to Cash App and PayPal are below. Ladies, fellas, want a balanced analysis, want the truth from a woman's perspective? Then you're going to want to subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.